So this is week 3 update of phase 1 in my first trimester of midwifery school. I'm going to try to do weekly updates on Mondays after the week is over because most of my stuff is due on Sundays, so technically even though that's the end of the week for me, it's just harder to get it all in with having to make sure all my participations are done, or if it's been a crazy busy week, getting everything uploaded and put where it needs to be. So I'm going to try to do them on Mondays. I realize it's Tuesday. I'm behind. Welcome to my life. And I'm going to try to do, my recap of the week before, even though I'm technically in week 4 now. I figured I would just do the update for week 3. My first vlog post. Do people still use vlog? My first vlog video is on Tumblr, but I found out that Tumblr only uses, you can only do 5 minutes at a time, and some of this stuff, as I approach it, especially in midwifery, dealing with some of the birth traumas we have to go through, some of the processing different feelings, and it's going to be a lot, and I don't want to make 1,000 5-minute videos to get something processed and out. Like I said in the description, I want this to be super raw. I want this to be my in-the-moment feelings, because I'm hoping as time goes on, I can go back and look at this again and see how much I've grown from it and learn from what I'm saying now versus how I can apply things in the future. If I come up with something else like this again, say I run into something really strange at a birth. I didn't witness it before. Going through it and talking about it here while keeping things as private as possible will kind of help me process it in the future. If I run into it again and go, oh, I remember, I totally ran into that at a birth, blah, blah, blah. I also really need an outlet, because at the moment, there are no other student midwives in the area that are in the same phase as I am, or at least not going to the same school. If they're in phase 1, they're going to the school in Austin, and it's kind of like they have their own network of peers they can bounce off of, whereas I feel like I'm floating out in the ocean by myself with what I'm going through and just processing everything. So I'm really using this as an outlet to kind of get it all down. So yeah, my first Tumblr video was on recapping week 1.5. I went to a birth that week and I got a really bad sinus infection. So I was down for the count for the rest of the week, and some into week 2. Week 2 into this week, week 3, has been kind of just recovering still. I just found out some information about my health today. I found out, which I already kind of knew, that my doctor is pretty much diagnosing me with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And I'll probably do a separate video on that another time when I have time. But there's all kinds of things that it causes. And one of the biggest complaints is exhaustion and my immune system being lacking, which sucks, but anyway, I digress. So I was really exhausted, and on top of that, my oldest was having quite a few behavioral issues, so we had to process all that, and I felt like everything was kind of getting out of control. I got behind on things. I missed a couple of lives that I had to watch the recording of. It was hard juggling. I just could not get a grip on what I needed to focus on. It was one of those moments that I had to make a list, and even the list was overwhelming, even though I made it small little bits at a time. It was just really overwhelming. And I guess that's going to happen. People are going to get sick. Kids are going to get sick. Things are going to come up, especially with my husband getting ready to go to a training. Things are going to happen where I'm going to have to juggle, and that's going to be really difficult with school being online, and a lot of it is self-taught or taught under a preceptor when you get into phase 2. So I'm trying to make the most out of it. It's not terrible. I don't want to come across that it's just I'm awful and things are going terribly, and it's just, don't do it. It's just a lot to take on. And I feel like the first couple weeks are for you to really, really like nail down your organization, and not per trimester, because our school goes in trimesters, oddly enough. Where I haven't gone to school since my youngest. I was pregnant with my youngest. So that was back in 2015. It's been a while since I've really, really done school. And even then, I was in class. It was face-to-face. I got to step away from what I was doing at the moment and really focus on the task at hand, the school, the stuff I was learning, and take my own notes and be in person to ask questions and have peers to talk to back and forth and bounce back and forth from, whereas now it's all online. And making time for that is not always easy. So it's been a while, but I feel like this first couple weeks of this trimester are going to really set me up for how I'm going to organize things in my trimesters to come, and hopefully get a good system going. I have some really great ideas that I've gotten from some of my peers online, and from my sister, who has gone through something very similar with lots of schoolwork and things. So yeah, that's where I'm at now with that. Anyway, like I said, it was a difficult week. Getting everything organized was really frustrating. The most difficult class I have right now is probably English, which is crazy. When I went to school in 2010 and then again in 2011 and 12, I took 2 English courses. I took a basic English 1010, and then I took another one that was supposed to be like for business writing or for I think it was called like research and something. I can't quite remember. But I took them, and unfortunately they did not transfer to this school. The schools I went to did not send my transcripts in time. Yay. Anyway, it's stuff I've done before, this English class. It's stuff I've done before, and I excelled at. I made A's in those classes, had no problem. But I also had like all semester to come up with a research topic and write about it and get constant feedback. This one, I mean, I guess I could, because most everything for my classes has soft due dates, other than the participations and some of the discussion boards, I think. Those are hard due dates, like due every week. But the other stuff is all soft due dates, and I don't want it to pile on top of itself if I wait. And I need that kind of like, I need to make it a due date in my head, like this has to be done by this day, or I'm gonna like, oh, I have time. You know, procrastination is our best friends. Anyway, it's just kind of a lot to organize with the writing class. It's just so much. And I feel like, and this isn't to say the instructor is terrible. I'm sure the instructor is great, but I feel like the instructor is so detailed over something that is not, it doesn't need as much detail. Some of our writing, like, discussion topics are just like excessive. I don't know. I don't know how to write a substantial paragraph that doesn't sound like I'm totally BSing for the basics of writing, which technically it wasn't that one. I had to do one assignment where I wrote a 1-page APA format paper on the basics of writing that I heard in the live conference. And a lot of that was just self-explanatory. I'm like, this is going to be really hard to write about. And I'm one of those people, I don't like writing if it sounds like BS. I don't like the excessive BS, even though I ramble. It just drives me crazy. So maybe that's what the issue is with school there. But I'm doing better. My husband and I have been doing gluten-free and caffeine-free since last Monday, so 8 days now. It is well, it's something I've been needing to do, but it's also like a precaution for Hashimoto's. Gluten tends to aggravate the symptoms more. So once I found out, I decided to completely eliminate gluten. The only gluten I get are small traces in spices and seasonings found around the house, like, you know, basil or whatever you have in the cabinet, the dried seasonings. And I accidentally had soy sauce last week when I had sushi, but I'm hoping to get some gluten-free soy sauce from Amazon or something soon. Anyway, I'm trying to eliminate it almost completely. I'm not super worried about the trace amounts, but it's supposed to help. Anyway, I'm rambling again. This is my channel, so this is what's going to happen. But since I've been doing the gluten-free, I have been feeling a little bit better, and it could just be because I'm coming out of being sick and finally getting back up on my feet. But I do feel a little bit better. I'm trying to sleep and rest and get better and just have more energy. And now that I do, I'm kind of planning on reading specific days and catching up on what I need to be caught up on. I think by this Friday, I should be caught up on everything. I think it's Wednesday, or no, it's Thursday. Thursday, I don't have any classes, or Friday, I don't have any classes. So I can use Thursday and Friday to catch up on all my writing if I need to for English. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this video is probably long and excessive. I've got to get the pattern down for how I want to do these, because I don't want you to have to listen to like 50 minutes of me rambling on and on about the same thing. So with that, I'm going to conclude week 3. Like I said, I'm already starting on week 4, and it's going pretty well. I hope that I'm able to update another video next Monday. We will see how that goes. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, and I would love some feedback. If you've journaled before via video, or if you want to know a little more, I would love to hear that. Like I said, this video is a little bit longer than I intend. I'm hoping to keep them about less than 10 minutes. So anyways, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.